Hello everyone, welcome to this yoga practice. We're going to be starting today's session on our back, so if you want to take a moment just to lie down onto your back. And then once onto your back, you're going to bend those legs or straighten them, whichever feels best for you. And then just taking our hands out by our sides. And then here with a little bit of tension into the stomach muscles, we take some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's just continue to breathe for a moment, just to help us to focus, to relax, and also to oxygenate all those different muscles in our bodies. Let's start to breathe a little deeper now, breathing in for 3. And out for 3. Continuing to take those nice deep breaths in and out. Maybe we take it for a count of 4 now, a little bit deeper if you feel you can. And then out. Let's just do 2 more nice big deep breaths in. And once we've done our final breath, we take our breath back to more of a normal breathing pace. I want you to continue to try and breathe with our movement as we move through today's practice. From here, we're going to lift the feet, bring the knees towards the body, and with both hands just onto the kneecaps, let's just start to circle these knees round, starting quite small with your movement, and then just gradually increasing. So we're using a combination of the muscles around the hips and through this upper body to circle these knees round, and just feeling a gentle stretch into that hip joint as we do this. In breath on the first half of the movement, out breath on the second half. Just creating enough resistance, but without forcing this. Let's do 1 more circle round to this direction. Bring the knees together and take the knees in the opposite direction now. Again, just finding a nice gentle stretch. Making sure our body stays still as we move these legs. Let's just do 2 more of these. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. And then we place both feet down to the floor. Then from here, let's just find this natural curve through the lower back. And we're going to start with our hands to the side of the head. Lift the head and peel this upper spine away. Just feel a little bit of tension into the stomach muscles as we pause for a moment. And then we lower slowly back down. Breathing out as we lift. Then a nice in-breath as we lower back down. Maybe now we reach our arms forwards and pause for a moment at the top. And then hands back to the side of the head as we lower down. Holding this tension in through the stomach muscles. Let's see if we can do 2 more here. Reaching forwards and then lowering down. And 1 final time. We lift. We pause as we reach forwards. Feeling those stomach muscles warming up. And then hands come to the side of the head. And we lower back down. Lovely. Lifting the feet now, we're bringing the knees into the body. Let's just give these legs a little bit of a hug as we take a side to side movement. Just giving these lower back muscles a little massage as we do this. And then we centre the weight, bring the head into the knees. And if we can, we use a little bit of momentum here to roll ourselves up. But if we struggle with this, use your hands and your arms to bring yourself all the way up to seated. Once we're around to seated, we're going to bring ourselves all the way around to tabletop position now. So hands under the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. Now from here, I want you to lift your right hand and left knee, and we're going to send that right arm out to the height of the body, push that left leg out straight, push the heel away, and find stability here as we breathe. Trying to keep our body nice and still, but really long and strong as we breathe in and out. Just warming up the whole of the body as we hold this position. Let's do one more breath here. And then we gently bring this hand and knee down. And we just reset for a moment. And then we do the same with the other side. So left hand lifts, right leg lifts. We push that leg out. Reach forward with the hands if you're shaking somebody's hand there. And we hold this position and we breathe. Keeping that leg to the height of the body. Keeping that body still, strong through this right arm. One more breath. And then we release and we sit back down over our heels into our child's pose position for a moment. Now from this child's pose position, I want you to lift your weight to all fours, but take your weight to your left wrist. Bring the head over the hands, take your weight to the right wrist, and then down to the right ankle and to the left ankle. We're creating some circles here as we start to warm this body up. We start to create a little bit of a flow of movement, warming up all those smaller muscles and the fascia in the body as we do this. Breathing in on the first half of the circle, out on the second half. Let's just do this circle, and then we will sit back, taking a moment there. And then we reverse the circle. Let's take our weight to our right wrist, to the left wrist, to the left ankle, and then round. Again, just finding this nice circle, maybe going a little bit further forward now to warm that upper body up. And let's do 2 more circles here. Final time round. And again, we just finish off sitting back over our heels into our child's pose position. Excellent. Taking a couple of breaths here. So now we're going to just lift ourselves up to tabletop and then bring yourself all the way up to a high kneeling position. I want you then to take a big stride forward with your right foot. We then place the left hand down onto the mat. And with this right arm, we reach forwards and we take the arm up, lead from the elbow and bring it round. So circling this movement, and feel free to use some movement through the body here as well. So the leg comes a little bit straighter and then we move forward. So again, we're getting some nice warmth through all of those smaller muscles in the body. Let's do one more circle here. And then we bring this hand all the way down. And we just lift ourselves up. Bring this foot back in, find this high kneeling position once more, and we'll bring the left foot forwards. And then right hand down this time. This time the left hand reaches forward, lead from the elbow, create this circular movement. Finding that nice flow of movement, breathing with this movement, moving the body if you feel you need to. And then we're going to do one more circle here. And then we bring this hand down to the mat, bring ourselves gently up to our high kneeling position, step back, and let's just sit back into our child's pose once more here, taking a moment just to breathe and to release the tension. Now, we're going to lift the bum, tuck the toes underneath, really find some resistance into these hands, so a very slight cupping of the hands to give us some grip, and we start to lift these knees, sending the sit bones towards the ceiling, and seeing if we can bring this chest towards the thighs. So a slight bend on these legs is fine as we find this downward facing dog position. And some little pedal of these legs, just a bend and a straighten, just to release the tension from the legs. And breathe with our movement. Keep this spine nice and long through its natural curves. And then I want you to just ease off on that pedaling movement, lift the right foot and bring that right foot to the right hand. And with this back foot, just jump it a little bit wider, maybe a touch closer as well. Now we're grounded into this right foot. See if we can bring ourselves up into this high lunge position. This back hip is round, our body is long. Hands can be on the hips if we want to, or if we prefer, we can bring them above the head. Maybe just have a little more of a bend on this back knee. And let's take a couple of breaths here. And then bringing our hands to the rib cage now, we're just going to pivot this back foot to 45-degree angle. This front leg is going to stay bent and making sure this knee still follows the line of the toes. We then take some rotation through the torso, and as we do that, we open up our arms. Arms parallel to the floor, nice and strong, nice and long. Look over the finger of that front hand and hold this position here for me. This is our warrior two. We're then going to reach forwards with this front hand, turn the palm over, back hand comes to the thigh, and we start to bring the hand over, but keep this front leg bent. Looking up to the hand or down to the floor if you prefer, and hold our reverse warrior. One more breath here before we go back to our warrior two. Arms out, long and strong, grounded into both feet, particularly the back edge of this back foot. Then we pivot onto the balls of that back foot, bring our hands above our heads into this nice lunge position once more. And then taking those hands down to the mat, slowly sliding this right foot out. We find a plank position here. Option to go to the knees if you need to. We stay in this full plank, making sure our bum is in the air, we're not dropping the hips too low, just in a good strong position. Continue to breathe for me. One more breath, nice and strong here. And then you can stay on the toes if you want to, or we go to the knees, pull these elbows in, and we slowly lower our weight down to the mat. Keep these hands here just under the shoulders, elbows pulling, and then using those back muscles, we just start to peel the upper chest away. Not too high, keep those elbows pulled in, not too much weight through the hands, and then lower down. We're then going to tuck the toes underneath, take our weight back, and then start to lift those knees and find our downward facing dog again, and take a little pedal out on these legs. Nicely done. We need to do the same on that left side. So we lift this left foot now, bring it towards the left hand. And with that back foot, we jump it maybe a little bit wider, maybe a touch closer, hands to the hips, and start to lift ourselves up, grounded into that left foot. Let's find this posture, which this back hip is round. Option to keep the hands on the hips or take them above the head and hold here. Now from here, hands come to the rib cage. We pivot this back foot to 45 degrees. Again, we're just going to take rotation and we're going to open up into our warrior two. Be strong here, front leg bent, back leg straight, grounded into that back leg and looking down that middle finger on the front hand. Feeling that heat building into those legs now. Let's just reach forwards, turn the palm over, and then lift that hand above the head, back hand to the back thigh. To our reverse warrior once more. And then bringing this arm back over, back into warrior two. Reaching forwards, strong through the feet, but strong through the core and through the spine. And then we pivot with that back foot. Heel lifts, we bring this hip round, hands above the head. Into our lunge once more. Then bringing these hands slowly down to the mat, framing that foot. Slide this left foot back with control. Find your plank position once more. Remember, you can go to those knees if you need to. Push those heels away. Just holding tension into those deep abdominals. As we take one more breath here. Option to stay on the toes or go to the knees, pull these elbows in and lower down, chaturanga as we go down, flatten off the feet, elbows pull in and lifting, opening up through the front of the body, feeling some resistance through the back of the body, be careful with that movement, chest gently down, and then we tuck the toes underneath, we take our weight back and we find our downward facing dog again, and we breathe, a little shake out through those legs. And now we just really slowly lower these knees down really, really slowly and find kneeling position forming. Excellent stuff. Now from here we can just take our weight to one side, scoop these legs all the way round and bring your feet to the mat. With their legs bent, take your arms out in front. I want you to bring the chin gently towards the chest, rock the hips back and just start to roll down and find some tension in these stomach muscles. And then pull all the way up, find posture, and then we roll again. So in breath as we roll down, out breath as we come all the way up, sit tall. Maybe if that feels okay for you, we go a little bit deeper, rolling a touch further in, and then slowly coming all the way back up. Let's do 2 more of these if we can. If you do feel you've had enough, take a rest, have a lie down onto your back. One final time, if you're still with me on this one, take it down as far as you want to go to feel in control. Keep those feet down. And then we pull up using those deep abdominals, hands to the shins, and let's just slowly roll ourselves all the way down onto our mats. Excellent. Taking a breath or two there just to relax. So we're going to take our arms nice and wide now. And with those arms wide, I want you to lift the bum and push the right hip towards the right edge of the mat. We're then going to lift these knees and allow the legs to just slowly move over onto one side there. Keep this opposite shoulder down, and you might want to look away from the stretch just to increase the stretch a touch more. And if you feel this is not particularly comfortable, you can grab a cushion and put it between the knees. Let's just breathe to this right rib cage as we do this. Just starting to ease things down a touch now. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And then slowly bringing those legs back to centre. Lift the bum, just find the middle of your mat. And then lift the bum again, take the left hip to the left edge of the mat. We lift those legs once more, bring the knees in, and then allow them just to fall gently, slowly over to that right side now. And again, we rest, we relax, and we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then slowly, a little bit of tension in the core as we bring these legs back through to centre. Lift the bum, find the middle of the mat, and then bring these knees into the body. Give those legs a nice hug. Maybe bring the head and knees together. Just have a little roll here, either up and down the spine or side to side. Just a nice gentle massage out of those back muscles. And then we relax the head down. We lower those feet to the floor. And I want you just to find a comfortable position to lie now, whether that's with your legs bent or straight, with those arms out nice and wide. Just get yourself comfortable. Release the tension from the body here now. As we just start to release all that tension and that stress out of the body. Nice breaths in, and each time you breathe out, we release. And just feel that wave of relaxation moving up through the feet, through those legs, through the hips and into the body, into the shoulders, and then eventually up into the head. And pushing any tension out through the top of the head. So our body is nicely relaxed now. We've released the tension. We can just ease off on the breath a touch now, just more of a natural breathing pattern as we just take a few seconds to relax. And then very slowly, we bend these legs, bring the feet to the floor, and roll over onto one side. And just bring yourself very gently, very slowly, in your own time, up through to a seated position. And then just find that little bit of posture. Take a nice breath in and out. Thank you, everyone. Well done.